think that it really affects the education of the students, because if the room is very hot or very cold, then the students have trouble focusing. If it's really hot, then they're more concerned about trying to find water or get a water bottle or go to the fountain to get a drink. If it's really cold, they want to wear their coats.
Does the smell of your classroom have an impact on your students?
Yes, most definitely. They come in and they complain every day. They ask if there's any other room available that we can use. They've begged me to go to computer labs, the gym, the cafeteria, outside in the springtime, anywhere to get away from the smell.
How often, when does this occur?
It happens pretty much every day. On windy days, it's worse. Typically between 5th and 6th period is when the smell is just repulsive. But again, on windy days, sometimes it's as soon as I walk in first period, it smells.
How often do you need to open the windows in order to manage the smell?
Just about every day. The problem is in the wintertime it's really cold, so you have to open the window and then it gets cold in here, and then you close the window and it smells. And then you open the window and it's cold, close the window, it smells.
Well, this is my 4th year teaching at Mathews. I taught in Youngstown City Schools, and I also did some work at Western Reserve High School. So compared to where they're at, when they have new buildings, new facilities, it makes a world of difference with the learning environment. So I really can't control the thermostat, and I really can't control the environment in our classroom, because my thermostat is actually located in another classroom. Plus, I don't have any windows in my classroom, so I can't open up a window to, if it's hot in here, to cool the kids off, get airflow in here. When you're checking homework going on in the classroom to see what kids are doing, you're most likely going to trip over someone's foot or slip on a book or something, and it's very easily being distracted when kids are so close when you're trying to do individual work.
From what I have seen with my experience with newer schools, our classrooms are much smaller and they do not have the technology and the resources that newer classrooms have. There's very little storage. I have little to no storage in here. Most of my storage is out in the hallways. The students can't work on larger levels. Everything has to be small, and just there's not a lot of space to move around and do different things.
Well, currently in the library, one of the things I can say is we work pretty hard to try to make the best of our situation. So in the library, we have a lab going on. We don't want to close the library, so we have a temporary wall we put in to try to give as much technology access to the kids we can. However, we're functioning in a century-old building, and there's just a lot of, well, again, as somebody whose priority is to give students informational access, I think one of the things that we could have here, that at these other schools is a wireless campus where students could, access from their own electronic devices information, which would make it really put us into the 21st century as far as technology skills, and they wouldn't have to physically even be at the library a lot of times because they'd be able to access that information from anywhere at school.
As far as athletic facilities go, incorporated here at the high school, they're probably the worst I've ever been into as a coach. Being from Mathews, graduating from this school 20-some years ago, I mean, nothing really has changed, but you don't realize what other kids have and the potential that these other kids have until you get out in other communities and actually see the opportunities that they have just from facility standpoint alone. Our place is probably the smallest gym that you're going to find. A lot of concerns come with when you have a class of, say, 30, 35 kids as far as them having an opportunity to participate, as well as even a safety issue. So, I mean, there's issues that come to play as far as just a structural standpoint. Bleachers that takes like 4 or 5 kids to push in and out. There's no place to store equipment, so you're limited on a lot of things. And as far as athletics go, you're at a disadvantage anytime you go to another gym as far as the low ceilings in volleyball, basketball. I mean, right there's just a number of issues that come into play. So locker rooms have one, I believe in the boys' room, one working shower that does have holes in the wall and in the ceilings. Locker rooms, the doors, the windows do not open to offer ventilation, so a lot of times it's excess of 90, 100 degrees in there, especially in the summertime. And we have to keep them bolted shut for safety issues. The girls' facility, a little bit better than the boys, but they are pretty bad. Boys, girls, I think, have 3 working showers, so very limited.
I'm a technology coordinator at Mathews local schools as well as Southington local schools. And at Southington, several years ago, we actually got a K-12 facility. And with my experience at Southington in the new technology there, we have an infrastructure that is a K-12 campus. And with that being centralized, the video distribution, the students can in their video classes, with all of the networking in one facility, they can utilize the equipment versus a district that has more than one building, have to divide all of their technology between 3 different buildings. We can centralize that in one K-12 facility and allow all the students to use the technology. I'm employed at Mathews 3 days a week, and with 3 buildings, having old technology, probably half of my time is spent managing and updating and keeping the old technology utilized for the students. And with new technology, a new facility, and new infrastructure, my time could be better spent managing that new infrastructure and that new technology to benefit the students.
In what ways are our students hindered by a lack of technology?
Having old technology in the facilities, as we do now, some of the new programs, some of the new infrastructure, video production classes, web design classes, our students are not getting the benefit of utilizing new technology that other schools that have new facilities have.
The structural status of the school is questionable because the building was constructed in 1915, and therefore, you know, with the asbestos removal and such that we've done over the years, I'm not sure how structurally sound the building is. I know that they've probably had people come in from the health department and other agencies to check on how structurally sound the building is, but I think right now we've been putting money into a building that we're never going to get a return on. The money is for continued improvements. I guess that's why the bond issue is being asked or put before the voters in May. I think everybody who's been in the building realizes that we need a new building, and again, our amount of preventive maintenance that we're using is probably money poorly spent, but out of necessity. I think some of the hazards are the fact that you know, the steps, it's not handicapped accessible in many ways. The building is now overcrowded, bringing the 7th and 8th grade students up here from the Neal building. You know, there's parts of the building that need constant repair. The building especially the roof. We get a lot of leakage because it's a flat roof. And I know my room in 307 has been fixed numerous times. The drop ceiling, some of the corners in the back have actually fallen in on the back of the room. Luckily, there was nobody, students or teachers back there at the time. Again, I think our students have done extremely well under very poor conditions. When you look at all the new schools that are being built, I think we're kind of maybe cheating our students out of the opportunity to have up-to-date, state-of-the-art technology and other options. Not that they have not excelled. I think that's a tribute to the students we have here at Mathews. They've done the very best with limited resources.